Lisa Left Eye Lopez and the two other girls. Ladies and gentlemen, check out my disappearing coffee cup. It's from the latest in Starbucks' new line of fall colors. Invisible. Because in Texas, fall is thus far invisible. But also, welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. I'm DJTatious, and it's time to wake up, wind up, and cue up with another excellent BandLab track for our fall episode. Today, we've got a page from my journal. But plot twist, it's not from my journal. It's from MurphysTurkey over on the lab. So, without further ado, to the lab! It's time to wake up, wind up, and cue up with another excellent BandLab track. We've got MurphysTurkey over here on the lab and another lab coat out of New York, New York at MurphysTurkey. Some people might say it's MurphysTurkey, but those people would be wrong. Repping 560 followers. The song A Page From My Journal is actually a fork from an instrumental called Sunflower by a lab coat we know very well, Nainoa88. It's got 86 plays, 24 likes, soon to be one of our own, I'm sure. Let's take a listen. We're just keeping with that fall acoustic vibe. See, now this is actually giving me Union Station vibes. If you've never heard Union Station, Alison Krauss and Union Station released a CD or an album called New Favorite, which is actually one of my favorite albums of all time. You wouldn't know by looking at me.
Once upon a time I climbed your sand dune.
Where are my lyrics?
To the top to see what met me there.
Oh, I like the Vox series on this.
Two great lakes met in the sunset in the distance. It was lovely in the city. It was peaceful at the top.
Wow, I like this.
I could go back to those lazy summer days. Yeah.
It's really neat because I'm getting these conflicting vibes that go so well together. I'll talk about it later.
Just behind our gate.
Listen to that guitar go.
Later we sat around the campfire, ate some marsh, then we sang sweet lullabies under the moon. And
that was a really good note.
To a chance to sleep, to the buzzing of the bugs and a sneaky black bear who ate the food. And then the next day sunrise, I remember stepping out into the morning dew and took a deep breath in.
And then we let it ring out. That was really cool. What I like about that is that's very 90s singer-songwriter, and it just does its thing so well. So let's jump over to two things I love and one thing I want more of. The first thing I love on this track, and we're going to focus more on MurphysTurkey and the vocals rather than the instrumental. We very much enjoy Nainoa88, but this is MurphysTurkey track, and say that 5 times fast. And there is some great stuff to be mentioned here. The first thing I want to mention is kind of what I alluded to during the song. This has some really great conflicting vibes that come together to form something really neat that I never would have thought I wanted without hearing it. When you go into the vocals and then the vocals come in with layers, what I get is I get this overwhelming feeling of TLC. And I don't mean tender love and care, although this does sound like a tender memory, and there was love and care put into this track. I mean TLC, the band. The way the three vocalists, Lisa Left Eye Lopez and the two other girls, sorry, I wish I knew their names, I don't. The way that they blend together with their vocals on that lower register brings kind of that R&B 90s flair style, in the same way that MurphysTurkey is blending these layers here with an acoustic style. And I couldn't help it. It was this acoustic style, but I got this overwhelming feeling of 90s girl group, TLC. Let's take a listen.
It was lovely in the city, it was peaceful at the time.
Maybe it's the enunciation.
Wish I could go back to those lazy summer days. Yeah.
And while there could be so many comparisons that get made, when I listen to these songs, I tend to go with what I feel initially. What happens initially? What's that spark that resonates in my mind? Because if we think about it too hard, we can make any correlation or connection we want. But when we feel it, first things first, it becomes really neat comparisons that we draw that maybe we wouldn't have otherwise thought about. We would take our time and we would say, oh, that's not a good comparison. I'll think of something more apt. Or, oh, that's not a great comparison because maybe they don't go together. Or that's not a great comparison because maybe people won't appreciate that comparison. When in reality, it doesn't matter. These are the comparisons we make. These are the things we feel about the music. This person put their art into the world. It is subjective. We hear it. And right now I am totally hearing acoustic TLC vibes. And I really dig it, these vocal layers. Let's listen one more time. Let's actually listen to where they come in.
It was lovely in the city.
It's like it opens up. Let's go into the second thing I love, because we're going to continue listening. Love those layers. But the second thing I love is actually the content that we're getting here. We are getting a very real look at a moment in time for this person. And for me, it's a very relatable summer thing. It's summery. It's a summer vibe. And I don't know if that's the same for everyone. And while we are doing a week on fall, this whole campfires on the beach thing has a summer connotation for me personally with where I grew up and how I grew up. So let's take a listen to some of these lyrics. It was peaceful at the top. I wish I could go back to those lands in lazy summer days. Now let's go over here to where the bugs are. That's my favorite note in the entire song, and I think it's the perfect inflection for sweet lullabies because the note is very sweet. Sweet lullabies, right? But the way that it was breathed out into the track, it is the standout moment for the track for me. And I know we can find lots of cool things. There are plenty to love, but the standout moment, and we'll keep listening to the lyrics, is the sweet lullabies.
Sweet lullabies under the moon.
Almost Whitney Houston-esque. The buzzing of the bugs and a sneaky black bear who ate our food. Like, this is real life camping.
And then the next day sunrise, I remember stepping out into the morning dew.
The next day sunrise, stepping out into the morning dew. So we go and we find this ideal spot. We have this campfire. We sing songs. We fall asleep to the buzzing of the bugs, and a black bear ate our food. Look, in Texas, we're still camping in October, okay? So that is incredibly poignant. It's so real to wake up and your tent is just, you flick your tent and the dew just, it's almost as if it had rained the night before, although that's not the case. And anyone who goes camping in either the Pacific Northwest or in the South Central United States knows that kind of feeling. I can't speak for anywhere else. I didn't spend much time camping anywhere else. But those are the two things I love. The way that we layered up these vocals, the way that we sang them, and then the lyrics specifically, tuning it all the way down into the moment of the song where we sing sweet lullabies, but it is the lyric accompanied by the melody and the way we chose to sing it. Like I mentioned, it's got that Whitney Houston-esque like breath, and it is fantastic. Now, if there's one thing I want more of, I think I want to anchor somewhere. I think in this track, even at 2:31, we could parse down. It's a page from my journal, so it is lyric dense, which is great. But I think we could parse down and find a hook somewhere. I would personally take the sweet lullabies part and turn it into a hook and maybe sing it twice in the song. Have a verse about finding the spot where y'all were going to settle down for the night, and then a quick little hook that's, and we sang sweet lullabies by the campfire side. In one more line, you mentioned summer in there. Those summer days are always on my mind, right? Sing sweet lullabies by the campfire side. Summer days are always on my mind. And then we could go into verse 2, which is more about the campfire and falling asleep to the bugs and the black bear stealing our food. And then we go into the chorus again at the end. Sing sweet lullabies by the campfire side. Summertime always on my mind. And then you could repeat it one more time for the ending. I think that would be incredible. And that would elevate this song to just awesome status. A chorus, that hook, would really just drive home this point that these are the days of your life, right? This is a poignant moment for you. And it's relatable. At least it is to me. And if it is to me, I'm one of 6 billion people or whatever the number is now. It's relatable to someone else. And I would imagine a lot of other people. So I would like to see a chorus thrown in there. And that is the one thing I want more of. All in all, this is a phenomenal track. Page from my journal, super honest, super lyric dense, which I love as a songwriter. I just love writing words. I do. It's what I do. And it's MurphysTurkey. Everyone should jump on over to BandLab and follow them. Janine, it looks like her name is, as Nainoa88 mentions in the comment. Let's make sure we give this track a love because it's so good. And we're actually going to leave a comment before I end the video here. This is... Thanks for the sweet lullabies. And we'll put that in quotes since we are quoting our favorite part of the song. Boomtown, lock it down. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone jump on over to BandLab and follow MurphysTurkey out of New York, New York. And you know what? While you're over there, go ahead and follow DJTatious and his amazing invisible coffee cup. Ooh, because fall is also spooky time. Thanks for waking up, winding up, and queuing up another excellent BandLab track with me. One more day of fall week, and then we head back to whatever awesomeness we find on the lab. So, with that in mind, we will see you next time.